Hello everyone and welcome back. A big thank you to everybody who has subscribed. In today's video, we are going to look at yet another Kenyan president, and this time we are going to look at the political life of Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta is a Kenyan politician and served as the fourth president of the Republic of Kenya from 2013 to 2022. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was born on 25th October 1961 to the first president of the Republic of Kenya, Jomo Kenyatta. The Kenyatta family hails from the Kikuyu, which is a Bantu ethnic group. The name Uhuru was given to him in anticipation of Kenya's upcoming independence. Uhuru went to St. Mary's School, then went to study economics, political science and government at Amherst College in the United States. After completing university, Uhuru came back to Kenya and started a company known as Will Kenya Limited, a company that sourced and exported agricultural produce. Uhuru's political life started in 1997 when he contested for the Gatundu South parliamentary seat but lost. In 1999, the then President Arap Moi appointed Uhuru to chair the Kenya Tourism Board, which was a government parastatal. In 2001, Uhuru was nominated as a member of parliament and joined the cabinet as Minister for Local Government. Uhuru would also later on be elected first chairman of KANU. It is believed that in 2002, President Moi influenced Uhuru Kenyatta's nomination as KANU's preferred presidential candidate, and this led to a massive exit from the ruling party KANU of other presidential contenders. Uhuru finished second to Mwai Kibaki in the general elections, having got 31% of the vote. After conceding defeat, Uhuru took up an active role as leader of opposition. In January 2005, Uhuru Kenyatta was elected chairman of KANU. During the run-up to the 2007 general election, Uhuru led KANU to join a coalition known as Party of National Unity with President Mwai Kibaki, who was running for a second term against Raila Odinga. PNU won the controversial 2007 election. The dispute over the elections resulted in the 2000 to 2008 protests. To end the protests, an agreement was reached between the two parties. This saw Mwai Kibaki remain as president and a power-sharing agreement with Raila Odinga as prime minister. Uhuru Kenyatta became deputy prime minister and minister for trade as part of the Grand Coalition cabinet. Uhuru Kenyatta was later appointed Minister for Finance on 23rd January 2009. Uhuru Kenyatta ran for presidency in the March 2013 elections and got 50.3% of the votes cast. This was above the 50% plus one vote threshold. Uhuru won the election in the first round and evaded a runoff between the two top candidates. Uhuru was declared the fourth president of the Republic of Kenya by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. Raila Odinga disputed the elections at the Supreme Court, but the court ruled that the election was valid. On the 11th of August 2017, Uhuru was re-elected for a second term in office, having got 54% of the votes. This win was contested in court and was annulled. A second election was held, which Uhuru won with 98% of the vote with a 39% voter turnout. Let us now look at some of the highlights of the 2 terms that President Kenyatta was in office. On 9th March 2018, Uhuru Kenyatta agreed to a truce between the opposition leader Raila Odinga. This was known as the handshake. The handshake created a sense of inclusivity because some communities had felt excluded, and there was this idea that the government belonged to some people or some communities. The handshake redrew Kenya's political architecture, and one of the outcomes was the launch of the Building Bridges initiatives that sought to make some amendments to the Kenyan constitution. However, the BBI was eventually rejected by the courts. During Uhuru Kenyatta's term as president, he demystified State House and opened it up for people to visit and have a look around. Uhuru Kenyatta has an easy personality and would interact with people in less formal engagements where he would be himself. On several occasions, he was pictured taking a stroll on the streets of Nairobi with his security trailing from a distance, or sometimes he would be seen having nyama choma in a market amongst local people. Even though Uhuru Kenyatta's plan to roll out universal healthcare countrywide has not been fully implemented, hospital bed capacity in Kenya has significantly improved, and new hospitals were built during his term as president. Uhuru Kenyatta also worked hard to boost Kenya's international stature, and Kenya currently sits on the United Nations Security Council. President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration also invested heavily in infrastructure across Kenya. Some of the projects include the building of major dams, sports stadiums, electricity connections, railways, and roads such as the Nairobi Expressway. Like any other leader, Uhuru Kenyatta did face challenges during his term as the president of Kenya. Some of the challenges included attacks by Islamist militants in Nairobi and elsewhere, the COVID-19 pandemic, and the rising cost of living. Before becoming president, Uhuru Kenyatta was named as a suspect of crimes against humanity by the International Criminal Court for planning and funding violence in Naivasha and Nakuru. This was in relation to the violence that followed the bungled elections of December 2007. Uhuru maintained his innocence, and the charges were later dropped on the 13th of March 2015. Uhuru Kenyatta has received both national and foreign honors. Some of the honors he has received include Chief of the Order of the Golden Heart of Kenya. He also received an award for the youngest Kenyan president in 2013, and this is in the Guinness World Records. In 2017, Uhuru Kenyatta received an award for most severe plastic bag penalty, and this went again in the Guinness World of Records. Those are some of the few awards Uhuru Kenyatta has received. When his term of presidency came to an end, Uhuru Kenyatta was appointed as a peace envoy for the Great Lakes region and the Horn of Africa, a position that will see him continuing to chair regional peace interventions on behalf of the government of Kenya. Away from his political life, Uhuru Kenyatta is one of Kenya's wealthiest individuals. His net worth was estimated in 2011 to be about $500 million. Uhuru Kenyatta holds stakes and shares in many companies, including significant corporate brands in Kenya and beyond Africa. Uhuru Kenyatta is married to Margaret Gakuo and they have 3 children. That brings us to the end of our video today. In today's video, we have looked at the political life of Uhuru Kenyatta, who was Kenya's 4th president and the son to the first Kenyan president, Jomo Kenyatta. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Join me in my next one when we are going to look at yet another Kenyan president. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.